Hi, and welcome to week one of your English 1010 course. I hope that you've taken the time to look at the orientation video and to look over the syllabus. And you're now ready to get started on your lessons. And I want to walk you through. I realize for some people, this is their first semester taking an online course. For others of you, as you probably know if you're familiar with online courses, they vary and differ based on who the instructor is and what the course content is. So while there are certain things that'll be the same, there are other things that may be different. So I wanted to walk you through this first week and explain to you what you'll be doing, how to do it, and what the expectations are. So we're going to begin, if you would, by looking at the screen here on the left-hand side, of course, the way to get started, and I've highlighted it by putting these dividers. We're going to begin with the Lessons tab. Okay, so select Lessons. Now, again, go through the course introduction and syllabus as you have time, but this is the week one folder. And what the week one folder does, and you're actually seeing the instructor view, so it'll probably be better if I changed it to student view so it makes more sense to you. The only thing that's available to you is the week one folder, and it will remain available to you, but what will happen is all of the assignments are due by next Monday night, which doesn't mean do them Monday, okay? Please understand that. If you've read the syllabus, you know that I recommend that you set aside at least 2 times a week to work on and open up your coursework. Even if it just means that one of those times you get a calendar and you look at what's due and how long it's going to take you to do everything, okay? The students who are most successful in this course are not the ones who wait until Monday right before the due date to do their work, because honestly, it's too late to get in touch with me after about 4 o'clock if you have questions or problems, and often many students find they can't complete everything they need to in the time they've allotted themselves if they wait till the actual due date. So I hope I've encouraged you to do something different, because those are the students who tend to succeed in a semester in an online course. All right, so once again, so if you'll select week one, anytime you've got a heading that's underlined, you can select it and it will open up and explain the assignment. Now, I group information by weeks, and then on the front of the folder, this is, of course, there's your folder icon, and the front of the folder I list all of the assignments, and then I usually give you the due date for all of them so that you know what the contents of the folder contain. Week one, you have quite a few things to do, but most of them will not take you that much time. The first thing is called a no-show assignment, and that, in order to stay on the syllabus, to stay on the roster for this course, you must complete this reading check quiz by next Monday night. And the way you do that, and it's fine with me if you have your syllabus open and you look at it and you answer questions. The main thing is I pulled out some key information from the syllabus that I want to make sure that you understand. And so that's what this quiz will enable you to do, is to take a closer look at your syllabus and answer questions, because I realize there's a lot of information on that syllabus. Again, to remain on the roster, you must have completed it by next Monday night. The second assignment, it gives me a writing sample of the diagnostic write. It's a very short assignment. It's only worth 20 points, which means it's not going to take you that long to do it, and it doesn't require a lot of brain power. But all it does is provide me, it's kind of like a completion grade. It provides me with a sample of your writing as it is now, so that I can know best how to help you individually throughout the remainder of the semester. So please do your best work on it, as best as you understand, because once again, that's how I kind of take notes based on what you've written, so that I know, areas where I can help you improve. Now, the way that you open this, once again, you notice you've got a heading that's underlined. So if you click on it, it will open up the assignment. And then here in the right-hand corner, it will say Begin. And once you select Begin, it opens up what we call the prompt. Okay, and notice that I've allotted an hour for you to do this assignment. And So you've got your little time there. I realize that makes a lot of people nervous, but quite frankly, all I'm trying to do is just to give you a chance to, if you were actually in a class with me, we would do this writing in class. And so I'm just trying to recreate for you online what the classroom experience would be like. Notice that you've got 2 different prompts you can choose from. Recount an incident or time when you experienced failure. How did it affect you, and what lessons did you learn? And then this, or write about, please don't write about both, just pick one, okay? Or describe a place or environment where you're perfectly content. What do you experience there, and why is it meaningful? And then the rest of the information just kind of explains to you, you know, what I said before about the assignment, okay? Notice that I'm asking for 1 or 2 well-developed paragraphs. So whatever that means to you, that's what I'm looking for. And then the way that you respond to this is you click, and this is called a text box. You click in the text box to set your cursor, and then you just write. Okay. Now when you're ready, select the screen box in the bottom right-hand corner. I don't think you can see it. Let me move the screen down so that you can. Select the screen box in the bottom right-hand corner and save and submit. Okay, don't select save all answer. I mean, you can select that, but save and submit will do that for you, and you will have successfully completed the assignment. Now, this is called a breadcrumb trail up here at the top of the screen. So the way that you can either use the, I'm going to move this up so you can see on your screen, you can either use the back arrow to move back out, or you can select the OK button here in the right-hand corner, or you can select the breadcrumb trail. And so I'm going to select week 1 to go back to the contents of the folder. So those are the first 2 assignments. The next assignment, 2 assignments, we're actually getting into course content. Now, the thing about this course is you are taking 15 weeks of work in 10 weeks. This summer term, a term, is 10 weeks long. And you will be covering pretty much the same material if you were to take this in a 15-week course, whether online or face-to-face. So realize that if it seems like a lot of work, that's the reason. And hopefully your advisor or whoever helped you register explained to you that in summer term, it's condensed down to a shorter period of time, but that doesn't mean that you're not covering the same content. Okay, so I've got 2 folders here. One concerns the writing process and composing strategies. And there's a reading assignment in your textbook, okay, which we'll talk about in a second. And then after you've done the reading assignment, I've asked you to, based on the reading assignment, okay, do 2 activities concerning a particular memorable first in your life. And if you've studied English any time in the past 10, 15, 20 years, you probably talked about the writing process, you know, the early stages of the process where you kind of play around with ideas. It's called the pre-writing stage, or the invention or composing stage. And that's the stage we're talking about right now. Okay, so what I'm asking you to do is some pre-writing activities for an assignment that you're going to do in next week's lesson. So if you'll read through this information, okay, and notice that I'm asking you to do 2. This is where some students get into trouble. So I tell you the specific page number where you can find the free writing activity and the questioning strategy. And I tell you where to find that in that particular chapter. Okay, so go back and look at the instructions for how to do each of those activities. All right, and then when you're ready to actually to do the activities, what you do is you select the title here. Okay, and it will actually open up the assignment. It shows you a maximum of 10 points. 10 points for the free writing activity, 10 points for the questioning activity. All right. And then please do me you'll see a text box, and many students think they're supposed to type. Anytime they see a text box, that's where they're supposed to type something. Notice, though, this text box is entitled Comments. This is just for if you have questions for me or you want to make a comment about the assignment, this is where you type that. I can't grade anything that you put in a comments box. quite frankly, what happens is it shows up on my screen about this big, and it's very, so what my comments box looks very lengthy, and it is vertical instead of horizontal, and it's very hard to read. So this is not where you do anything other than just give me, if you have a comment about or question about the assignment, and then I'll respond. Instead, what you want to do is this, where it says text submission, select write submission. Okay, and it will open up another text box, and this is where you actually can do your activities. Okay, or you have another alternative. Now when you're finished, then what you do is select submit here in the bottom right hand corner of the green box, and the color, you know, your commands may be a different color. It just depends on which of the my English 1010 classes you're in, because I've used a different color scheme to tell the courses apart as I'm doing grading. Okay. Now you have the option of writing out your free write here and answering the questions here, or you may type both of them in Microsoft Word, save it as a Word document, and then here where it says attach files, select browse my computer, which will allow you to look online and try and find you know, where you've saved your document. Let's just say this is it. I'm going to double click that. The title should appear right here. Okay, and it's attached to the assignment, and then select submit. Okay, and that will complete that activity. Notice that it says review submission. Okay, and you have a choice of either selecting OK here on the right hand side, or starting over again if you don't like what you've done. Okay, I'm going to select OK, and I'm done with that assignment. Now notice that there's another assignment associated with Invention Strategies, this reading assignment that you have here in this activity that you just did. This is called a discussion board. And if we were in a class, especially in an English class, we do a lot of discussing. So the way that we replicate that online is we have discussion boards, which means that these are open. Anybody in the class can read it, I can read it, and we can respond to each other. So what I've asked you to do is, after you've completed the 2 invention strategies in this lesson, write a post summarizing what you discovered in this process. How helpful was it to you? Do you think you need to change topics? Did it help to get you started? And then I ask you to respond to 2 other posts for full credit. So what you do is you select the title. Once again, there's an underlined title. Select Invention Strategy. Then you select Create Thread. Give it a subject. And this is where you then type whatever response that you want to have, following my instructions and answering all the questions that I ask you to answer. Okay. Then select, again, this box here in the right hand corner, Submit. Okay. Your name will appear here along with your title. Now, when you are to respond to 2 other people in the class, what you do is you select inventions, you select their title. It will open up, and then select reply. You'll get a text box. You read what they wrote, and then you write a response. And please, for full credit, do not write good job or I agree or something like that. Make it a bit more thoughtful, as though you're actually talking to someone in the course. All right. When you're done, you select submit, and then OK, and you have completed this activity. Now there's one final activity for this semester, for this week. And once again, we're getting started. Some weeks you'll have more work than others. There's one other activity. I'm going to go back to my breadcrumbs up here. I want to go back to, it's not taking me directly back, so I'm going to go back to lessons, week 1. And then I have some information about Netiquette and writing emails. I receive so many emails from students, of course you can imagine, especially in online courses, which I'm always happy to hear from students, but so many of them are not professionally written. Often I get run-on sentences, or there's no capitalization whatsoever, and that's highly unprofessional, especially when you're talking about writing at the college level or in business. So there's a PowerPoint presentation that contains an actual assignment that I want you to do for this week. And notice that the assignment is due by Monday. I will tell you that to open the PowerPoint, you just select And then there's the box that opens here at the bottom of the screen looks like this. I'm going to select open. There's the PowerPoint. And the actual assignment after you read through the PowerPoint is on the last slide. Okay? Once again, this is due by next Monday night. Final thing I wanted to show you is your textbook. And I'm about out of time. But here on the left-hand side, if you select textbook, then whatever chapter, and I think you have a reading assignment in chapter 7 for this week, you select it, start lesson, and then notice here across the top I can select whatever, 7 point, whatever the assignment